Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at a tier 10 light tank, which was absolutely insane when it was first released. Now, this is a light tank that kind of had the capabilities of a medium tank. And what I mean by that, you had medium tanks, you had light tanks. Now, medium tanks were always known to have very, very high DPM, good speed, good, everything like that. Not so great armor. However, with the T100 Light, it was a light tank with all the light tank capabilities, but it also had things like great DPM, like fantastic DPM. In fact, it had more DPM than most of the other medium tanks. Now, we're going to get into a game, going to talk about it, and going to see what has changed about the tank. Now, it does have tracer shells. So basically what that is, makes the tank visible to all allies for 20 seconds. So yeah, more than normal, which is good. And of course, it has the concealment in movement, which most of the light tanks have. So your turret armor, 120 millimeters. So yeah, the armor profile isn't great. However, it is very, very low to the ground. So you can easily hide behind hills, behind rocks, etc., etc. And your hull is only 65 millimeters as well. So yeah, armor profile wise, it is not special at all. Now, your DPM now is 3,261. Of course, you can get that up a little bit if you want to run it with the rammer. However, I run it with the calibrated shells, so you do lose a little bit of little bit of DPM. But still, 3,200 is very, very good for a light tank. But before, it used to be around 3,500, which is what most medium tanks are. The reload is 5.7, so a very, very good reload. Your penetration is 254 on your normal AP, 308 on your premium AP, and 54 on your HE. Your damage, you got a 310 alpha gun, 260 on your premium, and 420 on your HE. You've got an aim time of very, very good at 2.7, and your gun dispersion is 0.326. So you're not too bad, and you can actually make that better, which we will see. So 5 degrees of gun depression, which is absolutely nothing, with a top speed of 68 kilometers per hour. So most people run it with the V-stabs. However, your aiming time is already good. So personally, I would run it with the refined gun, because then that makes your aim time and your gun dispersion both really, really good. And you can see there, if you run it with the rammer, you can get 3,433 DPM, which is very, very good. However, we don't want to run it with the rammer. We want to run it with the penetration. So we're going to get into a couple of games that we had, a couple of quick games to be fair. But yeah, so there's not too much that has changed about the tank. Of course, Meta, I think Wargaming realized it was too strong when they sort of first released it. So they did sort of nerf it. However, it is still, in my opinion, a good light tank. Now, of course, there are some downfalls, the 5 degrees of gun depression being one of them. That really does suck. I hate the 5 degrees of gun depression, I really do. Maybe 7, something like that, it would be very, very good. But, equally, you are very, look at you, you're like a pancake. It is like the pancake light tank. So you can hide, as I've said, behind the hills or behind the buildings a lot easier than you can a lot of other tanks. But even here, we can't get our shot off on the back chat. So yeah, we had to drop down fully to be able to get our shot. And here, this is what I mean, very low to the ground. Even these little hills, we can kind of hide behind, and then you can push on. Now, of course, we're not going to bounce anything, so we decide to do the next best thing and wiggle side to side. And you just see there that we did bait the Sheridan, and he does miss us with his shot. So we are now still full hit points, 1,500 damage, don't quite get the kill there. And now with just 4 tanks left alive, we're going to ignore that E100 right now, and we're going to go for easier tanks. I mean, I say easier tanks. That guy probably is an easy target because he's on his own, and I do have a couple of guys with me, but he's not, for me, the most dangerous target. So I've ignored the E100 for now, get rid of that guy, and now I'm going to go and help the E50M just to clear this guy from behind. That means he's not looking at me, he's looking at someone else, and I can then just farm damage with 2 other people. So there's now 3 of us that is all shooting the E100. Am I going to get the kill? And no, I'm not. So far, 3,000 damage done, 2 more tanks left alive, but they are very, very low hit points. And as I've said, it has the DPM. It's picked up that damage very, very easily. And you can do that with this tank. Can we get the kill there? Yes, we can. Still 21 damage from the AMX 50B. And that is pretty much all we are going to do this game. So very, very easy. It was a very easy battle. No one really challenged us, and yeah, we just basically got free damage. But DPM wise, I mean, it is still a good tank. It's still a great tank when it comes to light tanks. Now, what I like about light tanks in tier 10 especially is that they're all different, you know. Well, most of them are different. Of course, you have the Vickers, but that you can kind of say is similar to this, whereas the Vickers and this is more like medium tanks, whereas the other light tanks, I mean, things like the Sheridan that you've got, a bit different, has a big gun, the Batchat that you've got, auto loader, you know, there's a few different kind of light tanks. They're not all the same when you get light tanks in tier 10, and I like that. You know, there's a lot of different kind of styles to play. It all depends on obviously what light tank you use. Now, I've just spotted the FE4005 trying to flank us, trying to flank in our spawn. I'm not having that. I'm going to switch to the HE and try to farm as much damage. Yes, 79 damage into this guy. And where I say you can get low to the ground, I mean, for him to be able to get the shot off, he actually has to go over the hill. And that's where I'm saying the best thing really about this tank is it is so low to the ground. Yes, you don't have armor, but that there was a very, very little hill that we can actually get under. So that guy, for him to get his shot off because he's so tall, you know, he had to go over the hill. So tanks like that, of course, you can sort of kind of face hug as well to make it a lot more difficult for him to get you, because he won't be able to get you. He won't be able to get his gun low enough to be able to get the shot off. So now, so far, 2,100 damage. I mean, it's not really about the damage this game, because, I mean, we've hardly done any. But with just 1 tank left alive, I'm now on my own, this side of the map, kind of, to this type 68. So I'm just going to try and farm as much damage. Can I get 1 more shot at least to get the 3k? Am I going to get the 3k? Just over. And I may even have time for 1 more shot into the type 68. Am I going to be able to get the kill? I mean, the reload is pretty good on this tank. Yes, I am. So 3.5k easy damage. So that is the T100 light, a very, very good Russian light tank, but it used to be a lot better. Let me know what you think of the T100 light in the comments below. But for now, hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.